Hello and welcome to In the Court of the Wenton Knave, live in Nashville 2001. This is a bit more interesting. I mean, certainly last week it was a bit difficult because it was just another show from 2000. We only had the two releases, but obviously once you've got heavy construction, that's substantial. So Warsaw was a bit of a thing, but this is interesting because it's in between. We're not really in the construction of light era, and we're not in the power to believe era either. So it's in between. They're trying out new stuff, and that's cool. Supposedly, I assume in Nashville, or around this time of 2001, the audience members included some drummers. Supposedly Ian Wallace, who's sadly no longer with us, but was still around at the time. Apparently he didn't like the V-drums. Maybe too many echoes of the VCS synthesizer. Crumble noises. Bill Bruford was there, very brave. Maybe it took a year of them touring for him to go and see them. Maybe. And Michael Giles as well. Apparently he was in the audience watching King Crimson in 2001. Strange, very strange. Although, I mean, Michael Giles, and later Ian Wallace, of course, around that time was forming the 21st Century Schizoid Band. They were supporting Tool. I don't know how much of this tour was supporting Tool. I know a lot of it was, or whether all of it was, not sure. But that's the thing of this era. And so, getting a bit of the young people in who must have been confused by this stuff. And I remember reading some of the comments online from Tool fans who were a bit baffled and listening to them try and describe it and failing completely. The guitarist that's sitting down, he's trying the what they called it, the old epic guitar odyssey thing or something like that. This strange expression that obviously it was just baffling for them, that it doesn't fit into this neat, however fantastic Tool are, obviously doesn't fit into the 90s thing. It's something else. It's confusing. Adrian Belew is back on form. Yes. Vocally, is what I mean, of course, and that's great. Brilliant. This is actually from two shows. It's from November 9 and 10th, so we've got a mixture of the best ones from each, I assume. No improvisations, whether there were improvisations on the shows and this is just a one disc edit, I don't know. Although technically there is a new track which is project-y and improv-y. Slight sense of lack of inspiration, I find it. When I heard this, they sounded tired, maybe. I don't know, the energy wasn't quite there as it was in 2000. And the new material at the time, I mean, we're going to talk about this as we go through the videos, there's nothing wrong with the new material, it just didn't seem special. Turns out that's normal with King Crimson. Until it's presented, you don't really get it. So there you go. Track 1 is Dangerous Curves, a chugging Crimson bolero, which we'll review on the album, honestly, but yeah, it's really good. Into level 5. Level 5, originally called Larks, Aspic Part 5, which was the second piece to originally be called that, because Fractured was originally called that as well. And apparently they just decided, well, you could go on forever calling things that. So it's called Level 5, which is a cool name. I mean, this would open the shows for the next couple of years, and Larks 4 closing the set. So it echoed Larks 1 and Larks 2 in 72. And it's still in the set, actually, probably because of the awesome drumming. Fripp has later talked about how there's a very definitive Crimson thing about this, and that took a long time for me to notice that. In a way it's generic Crim, in a way it's definitive Crim, and it's very special. It's another vehicle for the Fripp fast runs thing of Fractured, and Belew getting to solo over heavy riffs. Although maybe the Fripp fast stuff isn't quite as difficult as Fractured, which was just ridiculous. Slightly sort of lolloping at this early stage. Interesting. Okay, next track is The Construction of Light. Obviously it's well established by this time. I mean, nothing goes wrong with these kind of things. There's not much to say, is there yet? Construction of Light performed well. Adrian's vocals are great. I think generally this got better over time. Generally, I think. Track 4 is ProzaKc Blues. But yeah, I mean, if the Tool fans are baffled by Construction of Light in level 5, this would throw them completely. It has humour in rock music. It's supposed to be loaded, serious, playing serious. The first 4 songs are completely different, interestingly. That must be intentional. They are completely unrelated, all different types of Crim. A great solo, as always. Track 5 is Elektrik, which is a new piece, kind of Construction of Light too, I think. And interestingly, we wouldn't hear that until the actual album, even with the preview EPs. It's one I particularly like. More on that later. Track 6 is Thela and Ginjeet. So they've brought back some older songs, back to the 80s. At the time, I thought they'd never play this stuff again, and it came back and it was like, oh, okay. Much more intense than the 90s, actually. So in a way, it almost sounds like the 80s more than the 90s. I suppose it's a 4-piece. Mastelotto's killing it, actually, which is great. I wonder if any of this is sequenced. He's made his own part to it. I don't know. You know, how can you not write Pat Mastelotto? This is great stuff. It's strange. At the time, there's no Bill Bruford. You know, you can't get away from it. You can't help it. You know, you should listen to the new stuff, but you can't help it. But Pat Mastelotto is a fantastic drummer. I'm so glad there's loads of King Crimson with him on, where it isn't just Bill Bruford. You know, as fantastic as Bill Bruford is. Track 7 is this track called Virtuous Circle. And this is much more interesting. When I first heard this, which was on the Level 5 EP, I just assumed it was an improv, and they just stuck it on there and give it a name. I think this is really significant. This is the post-project track, if you like. Finally, we're hearing things that are post-project. The projects did a thing, and then they could make stuff from that. And construKction kind of didn't do that, for whatever reason. It will change a fair amount over the next couple of releases, even the title. More on that later. Track 8 is Elephant Talk without Tony Levin. Controversial. It's an okay version. Track 9, Larks and Aspic Part 4, of course, it has to be played. It surprises me they didn't play this in 2008. They played Larks 2 instead, actually. And in 2014 to 17. The coda's still there, they're still playing the coda but with no vocals. Track 10 is Deception of the Thrush. It's a good version of Deception of the Thrush, as always. And track 11 is Red. Expectations of Prison. Possibly aimed at Tool fans, I think. I mean, fans of Tool will like Red. I think that fits nicely. Possibly slightly patronising to the Tool fans, which have already been, you know, Kurt Cobain said he liked Red, so therefore they'll think, if that's the good stuff then. But maybe that's a bit patronising to Tool fans. It's not the best version ever. They sound a bit tired, maybe. I don't know. The energy's not quite there as much as I thought it would be. But yeah, interesting release, in-betweeny thing, 2001. See you next week.